Welcome to the channel and to T-Wolf Plays. This is going to be the beginning of the Legend of Dragoon series. This is one of my all-time favorite original PlayStation games. For the time that it was released, the graphics were amazing. They were way better than the original Final Fantasy VII graphics. The FMVs were great. They did a lot of innovative things, in my opinion, with the combat system. You'll see more of what I'm talking about on that later on. But about the only criticism I have with the game is some of the dialogue, but that could be a translation issue. Again, you'll see what I mean later on in the game. But I'm gonna sit back and be quiet for a minute while you listen to the rest of the opening FMV.
Great Commander, this way.
So, this is her. Indeed. Put her in custody. Is this really necessary?
It is His Majesty, Emperor Dole's command to take that girl into custody.
Who is she?
That is not your concern.
So yeah, you see what I mean about the FMVs. If you think back to the time frame that this was released in, that was a really good FMV for a video game. But even the graphics, I mean, we're talking original PlayStation here. And there were some games with some pretty messed up graphics. But this one, nah, it had really good graphics. Again, for the time. Pretty sure releasing a game like this as a brand new game, a game with these graphics, would not fly. But I was very excited when I heard that they were re-releasing this game. Here comes one of the parts I was talking about with the dialogue being a little off. there it is. Are you drawing a sword against us? Duh. Dialogue like that, it was actually, I'm pretty sure, fairly common in the games back then. But even with slightly wonky dialogue, it's still a wonderful game. I definitely hope that you folks who are watching actually enjoy it. Either way, I am going to do the entire game. I'm going to do a series of videos on the entire game. Just because I love it so much. I'm hoping that it stirs up interest in the game. Maybe it'll get some people that have never even heard of it interested in it. It would be really interesting to see what they would do if they were to make a sequel to this game. Not sure if it's actually a doable situation, but it would be interesting to see what they would do and to see some of the characters return and have even better graphics. See them return with the newer graphics. Yeah, another minor criticism I have is that sometimes the text boxes, the player doesn't have control over how long they're on the screen. And for the most part, I think you can actually see that. Because the ones that I don't have control over, they go away a little bit quicker than the ones I do. Here's where you're going to see some of the, one of the combat innovations I was referring to. And for the most part, I never saw something like this again in any of the games I've played. Be sure to let me know in the comments if any of you have played any games that used something identical to or similar to what Legend of Dragoon did with the combat. See, in Legend of Dragoon, there's what they call additions. And with those, if you time it right, you can add extra hits to your attacks. As you see there, I timed it right on both of them, and therefore did the full addition, which in that particular one's case is known as double slash. Now, while I don't use it, that funny shiny ball, obviously for long-time JRPG players, that's a save point. Yeah, you're again more of the dialogue that in some situations is like, what? And of course, you get the main character who tends to beat himself up about things. This whole first part of the game is a lot of dialogue, so I do apologize. This first part in general might be a little bit lacking in the action area, but later parts will definitely have more. See, with those additions, they have levels. And the higher the level, the more damage it does, and the more SP it'll give you, which SP comes into play later on in the game. But, I mean, they do max out at level 5. And except for your each character's final edition, once you reach level 5 with an edition, it's usually prudent to move on to the next one. Although with a couple of the characters, which if I decide to use those characters, you'll see what I mean. Some of their later editions are actually worse at level 5 than previous to them editions. But in the case of all of them, their final edition is the best one. Right here, you're going to see some more of the combat innovations I was referring to. I like how, well, again, it's only to the best of my knowledge, but I believe this was the first game or the first JRPG, where your primary characters were even slightly voiced. Again, I could very much be wrong on that, but in my experience, this was the first one where I experienced my party members having even a slight actual voice as they shout out their attack after performing it if you complete their edition fully. Like with him with double slash. Yeah, that was another thing, was enemies who are more than willing to use items. Like that was an attack item, which we can use too. Here's another one of the innovations: healing when you defend. I had never seen it before until this game, and I don't think I've seen it after, where if you select guard, you actually regain some hit points. Although in this particular fight, it was a losing battle if I tried to fully heal up using guard, so I actually had to use a potion. Yeah, one of the other interesting things about this game is it limited you to, I believe it's 32 total items, period. Flat out 32. And none of the items would stack. So see, I just got two healing potions and a burnout. That just took up 3 item slots. He also learned his next edition, which I will not switch to until I have double slash at level 5. Because in order to get the final edition, you have to max out the current, not just the current one, but each one that you have. So in Dart's case, I believe he has 7 total editions, and you have to take each of the previous 6 editions to level 5, max level, before he'll learn his 7th one. Now, one misconception that I think everybody had, myself included, was that you had to use each previous edition a total of 99 times before you could unlock the final one. And that turned out to, like I said, just be a misconception. All you had to do was get them to level 5. And then that would unlock the final edition if you got all the previous ones to level 5. Stardusts are an interesting item in the game. There's only a set number of them, and they're basically a collectible, but you can turn them into an NPC to get rewards. So that's one thing I'll be doing, is trying to collect them all. And that there is the next destination. Frugal. I swear, if there was a video game award for worst boss ever, in my opinion, Frugal would win it. And throughout the series, you'll see many instances as to why. If you make a scratch on her. Again, the dialogue. If you put a scratch on her, would have been better. But still love the game. Right there's what I mean. Kills his own dude just because he's mad because he got told off. Unlike most JRPGs, you are able to save on the world map. Here's what I meant about the additions. See, I've used double slash 7 times. Hasn't leveled up yet. Once I use it 20 times, it'll go to level 2. 20 more times, level 3. And so on up to level 5. Don't mind that save I'm saving over. That was a failed attempt at this first video because, well, the audio didn't work right. The other one is my, for me, playthrough. But I am going to leave this one right here. Be sure to come back for the others, and I will catch you in the next one.